slave owner by the name of William Lynch. Now, this individual, William Lynch, this white male who is supposedly from the state of Virginia, he wrote a letter in the 1700s, right? And the letter that he's written, it's an actual letter with salutations and everything like that, and uh, ending in the whole nine. But the letter is supposedly written by him to his fellow slave masters, other white men in America, particularly in the South, who owned slaves. And in the letter, what he says is that the way in which the slave masters have been going about punishing their slaves through lynchings, through beatings, through torture, through and sometimes death. Willie Lynch says that these sort of acts of violence are actually bad returns on your investment in slavery. He says that if you own slaves, obviously you own property, and to sort of damage that property actually works against you financially. So what he recommends in the letter is that rather than take out physical acts of punishment on slaves, um, there are certain things that slave owners can do to psychologically lock slaves into slavery for essentially forever, right? And he says that some of these psychological things that you can do is sort of take the slaves and pit them against one another, or sort of divide and conquer tactic. And he says you can pit them against one another in a number of different categories, right? You can pit the old slave against the young slave, the dark-skinned slave against the light-skinned slave, the slave in the South versus the one in the North versus the one in the East and the West, the one who is on a bigger plantation versus those who are on a smaller plantation. Just a lot of different ways in which he suggests that you play these psychological games and you make the slaves fight and bicker with one another so that you always have control as a slave master and you don't have to take this out physically. It's a very, very famous letter that has sort of circulated. One of the more controversial things that, in my understanding of researching the letter, is that while the letter does make some points that may hit home or may have some validity in certain ways, I personally have in no way found that the letter to be actually true. I don't believe the letter actually happened, that there was a person named William Lynch who wrote an actual letter in this way, but it's been used so often that people think that it's real. The letter is not real to my understanding, so it shouldn't be taken as real, but there are some good lessons to be learned. But anyone who wants to get a better understanding of Black history, slavery, and just the way this letter has played out in Black nationalist circles, I really suggest that you take a look at this book. It's called The Willie Lynch Letter and the Making of a Slave, a very infamous letter. You can Google it. It'll come.
So that's him. I'm gonna add something to this that is real, and
too.
it's 2 minutes. Here's some 2 minutes. Listen to this right here. So this.
To show you what they were doing, just from 1500 to 1660, as an example.
This is Dr. Claude
shipped 5
Anderson.
million black folk out of Africa just to Central America down here to dig for gold and silver. And in 150 years, black folk with tools and sticks and stones, they dug out over 16